Hey there, guys. Miss Griffith here. I just wanted to send out a digital PD/staff meeting. We're not meeting today, this Wednesday, but I just still feel like there's some things that I've been working on and reflecting on that I feel like is important to share with you guys as I'm kind of working through a lot of these things, and I know you are too. I know there's some updates that you guys need to hear, so why not do it digitally? If you guys go through this entire video and then participate on the Flipgrid feedback at the bottom, you can get 1 hour of professional development for participating in this online PD. So basically, what's the agenda for this? First, I'm going to give you guys a couple updates on some things. From a survey that we took with students, some feedback we've gotten from teachers and parents, and then also looking at what's going on with iReady. We want to kind of get that going for you guys. Also, I want to talk a little bit about some things with that the continued focus that we have on the campus on making sure that we are making balanced literacy a priority, making sure that we're hitting all the components so that our kids are getting all the things that they need. Also, continuing to discuss and brainstorm ideas to better communicate our reading levels to parents as we sent out these new behavioral slips in our Eagle Binder this 6 weeks. How can we continue to improve upon that? And I want to give a big shout out to all of those people that made that happen. I really appreciate, your hard work in that. I'll stop moving myself around here in just a minute. And then also I wanted to talk a little bit about just some things we've been seeing with technology on the campus and, how impressed I've been with a lot of the teachers that, have really been able to show how technology can be used to really highlight and spotlight student learning and how it's really about you know, collecting information about what kids know and not anymore about the device or the app that they're using. It's more about student learning. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, iReady, I wanted to let you guys know that we are working on the onboarding process as we speak. Miss Lane is watching a webinar on how to get that completed, and as we're finding things out, we're trying to get that stuff completed. I think that it's important for you guys to know as soon as we are ready to go for you guys, we will let you know immediately. I also wanted to let you know that we've got 30 new Chromebooks in, and Charlie and Jane have been working diligently to get those ready for us, and we should have those here pretty quickly. So that's pretty exciting as well. Again, I'll get you guys that stuff as soon as we have it. So over the past week, Miss Lane and I have done a couple things. One of them being we surveyed our kids. We talked to first grade, second grade. We also talked to our student advisory committee to kind of ask them some questions about what they feel like is going well on this campus. And then, what things do they wish we could work on? And we also collected some information from teachers and also from some parents. And so I thought I'd share that with you. And we've got what could be better first, but let's start with the well. And what was really great, a lot of our students were sharing so much about how they have just loved the STEAM class, how they've been loving music. A overall theme, which I think is so great and speaks such to our teachers, that a lot of our kids were talking about how much they enjoyed math. Of course, there were kids that said lunch and PE is their favorite part of the day, but a bunch of kids were talking about math. And how cool is that, knowing that a lot of you have set that as your goal? And so it's really coming out in your instruction, and the fact that you've been so passionate about it, your kids are taking note. And for me, as getting to hear that was really awesome. Kids also talked a lot about how they feel like your teachers are approachable and they're nice and they care about them. And that to me is going to be where we're going to make the most progress with kids, is because they feel like we care about what they have to say. You can look through the other things here that they said. Of course, the building, getting to sit in the window seats. They really take notice to the environment that they're getting to learn in. And the same thing with teachers. You guys you can read through this particular thing of things that are going well on the campus. Things we could do better, of course, because we're like playground, which I'm pretty sure everybody else on this campus is like, playground, we need to have one. So anyways, that's coming. You can see the progress that's going on outside, and we're going to get there. Again, kids are saying longer recess, longer lunch, all those things, and those are some things that we will work on. Teachers, we hear you. More devices. We're going to be continuing to work on that. Continued training on balanced literacy components to make sure that you really are serving your kids the best. And those are some things that I'm definitely working with Miss Mills to get you guys connected to the right trainings and get you guys the materials that you need. Also, math workshop training that was across the board, something teachers were very interested in. So know that we are definitely looking into several different options for trainings on those kinds of things. Um, and then again, Eagle period refinement, that's something we're going to be working with each grade level to make sure you guys feel like you're really maximizing your time with your kids, that it's productive, that you're not feeling overwhelmed in extensions, and figuring out how we can be creative to help serve you so that you can best serve kids. And parents, you can see they want a stoplight. So we're not TxDOT, so we won't be able to get that stoplight up, but it is coming. We have got confirmation on that, and so that hopefully is going to be something that they get more information, or that we get going pretty quick. So let's go on to the next thing. So continued focus on balanced literacy. And so really this isn't me talking about this, but this is something that Miss Lane and I and several teachers have been working on, a plan on a page that really just kind of goes over the different components of our Readers and Writers workshop. And then we're working on that plan on a page, getting all of the materials that we have, and we shared this with you guys during our last PD, but this is still a work in progress. We're adjusting minutes on things, and please know that. So one of the things that I have seen that I feel like would help us as a staff reinforce making sure that we hit each of these components inside of these workshop models is having a visual schedule that's a little bit more broken down than just saying that this is going to be time for reading. And so I've had a couple things here in the s'more. You can scroll down and look at it. This is actually from a classroom, which is a little bit blurry, but it breaks down the times, and it really it shows like this is when they're going to be doing the mini lesson. This is when they're doing writer's workshop. This is when we're doing shared reading. This is when we're doing phonics, and it's all, and they actually have it drawn out as a visual schedule. This is actually a first grade classroom right here at Northwest ISD. And I really felt like that's something that I know for me as a teacher, when I had something that was that broken down, it really helped me to try to at least try and attempt to stay on the time frames that I know that I need to, so that I can hit all those different components. So that's something I'd like to talk with each grade level about, how we could, tailor make a particular schedule, like visual schedule like this, that includes all those components of balanced literacy. I also included just like a written out schedule that I had found, but this is, again, they're just some examples. I really do like the one that has the pictures with it. I think that would be great for kids to know what's coming with them. Other things, going back up here in our little s'more, something else that we're working on, Miss Lane has been rocking it out. We've been working on data boards, which, this is something that we want to be able to support each of you to the best of our ability in helping to make progress with each child. And so what we're doing, Miss Lane has gotten these shower boards, which are huge, and she went and picked them up with her truck and carried them in, and she's really awesome that she did this. And then she had this whole idea to have this stuff mounted up, and there, you can take the boards off and you can take the boards on, so that we can sit down and look at those. These cards that she made right here, they all have little stickers on them that will allow us to track each child's progress, and we'll be able to use that board to really notice trends with our kids, and that will help us to be able to go back and really figure out what kinds of things do we need to be working on during our Fly Friday PDs, or during our end of the 6 weeks professional developments, or just in our conversations with you guys as teachers. How can we support you more? And that's going to help us to see, where you guys need the resources, all those things, so we don't have any child that falls through the cracks. So we're very excited about that, and Miss Lane's put a lot of work into that. So those are just a couple of things that we've been working on. I'm going to scroll back down here. Well, I'm scrolling up, and then I'm going to go back to the bottom. Okay, communicating reading levels. Before we get to that, so I am just so thankful for all of you that worked so hard to get that new communication out to parents on our reading levels, where we really moved from changing that conversation about what letter a kid is to their behaviors with their reading, and trying to identify the things that they need to do and progress in so that they can move forward on that continuum. And so one of the things that I feel like would be the next step for us in our Eagle Binders, and we can all get to this is just something I've been thinking about and kind of talked with some of you about, is either having a sheet with an explanation of what our philosophy is and how how parents can interpret what they're getting when they come home, with that information beyond just the behaviors, like what do the letters mean? Even, I mean, it just more information um, about how we're looking at student readers and assessing them. And so whether that be a video or whatever, we can sit down. And so for the next Eagle Binder, next time it goes home, maybe we can have that information in there to even, further the communication with parents about our students' success in reading or development in reading. Last thing is, I have had the pleasure of being in a couple classrooms. I look forward to being in all of your classrooms here in the next week or two, and seeing some really fabulous things. Things from teachers singing amazing songs to get kids excited and pumped up about writing, and remembering their strategies, to teachers using technology for for greatness in the classroom. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. There's two apps that I, hope everybody in the building is using Seesaw in some way or another and working towards it really being used as a student portfolio for learning. And we're all at a different place with that, and we're going to continue to support each other and grow in this area. But I think it's really important that we are all working towards adding these things, because it really is something great for kids. Flipgrid is something else I've seen some really cool examples of teachers using it for reading reflections, kids to talk about reading strategies, kids to reflect on all kinds of different things with the work that they're doing in the classroom. And you guys did a great job of that during our last PD, when you guys all gave me reflections on what you took away from that. So the biggest thing at the end of the day, I think that for all of us to understand, is that when we're using these tools, Seesaw for videoing, Flipgrid for kids being able to give that video feedback, it's really about students being able to use technology to own their learning, to share their learning with others. And for a lot of them, um, this is a format that they're really comfortable with. They're used to this in the world that they're growing up in. And so it's authentic to them, and it gets them excited about the things they're doing. Kids are wanting to read more so that they can go and make those video responses on Flipgrid. I think that we need to make sure that our conversation, when we're talking about any of these technology tools, is focused around the learning and focused around how it is increasing student engagement in whatever we're doing. It's never about the tool. It's always about how are we deepening that learning, or having kids, talk more, explain, reflect on the things that they're experiencing in your class, or experiencing in a book, or experiencing inside of whatever's going on for them in the day. So anyways, those are just some things that I've been thinking about, and I wanted to just, touch base with all of you and, let you hear my thoughts. Um, for to get credit for this professional development, what I would like for you to do is to go in and talk about a time that you've used a student-centered app. It could be Seesaw, Flipgrid, it could be Screencast-O-Matic, it could be anything in the world you've ever used that's student-centered. Students really got to display their learning through the app. What did you do, and what about it helped you as a teacher to know more about where that kid was with that particular objective? So if you could share a very short video about something like that, and if you haven't gotten to that point yet, share something that is maybe a goal for you with these things. Talk about something that I'm interested in doing this, because then when I see that Flipgrid that you're interested in doing that, we need to work on getting you connected to the right people so we can make those goals happen for you. So anyways, again, if you would get that completed, and then you will get credit for this flipped PD. I appreciate your time. I know this video wasn't perfect. This is all just, different things that we're working on, things that we're thinking about. We need to make sure that our conversations stay focused on these things that we've set goals for, so that we can truly be the best place for every single child that's pre-K through 2. I hope you guys have a great day. Go Eagles.